In part 2 of making a dub delay in Max for Live, we're going to add some classic tape wobble by smoothly modulating the delay time with an audio signal. Start with your dub delay from part 1 in a new track and open it for editing. First, let's delete the delay time dial. In the first version of this device, we changed the delay time by sending a message to the tap out to set its delay time in milliseconds. You might have noticed that if we make lots of changes to the delay time, you can hear glitching. We can have glitch-free changes in the output of tap out if we set its delay time with an audio signal. This way the delay gets calculated at audio rate and can be modulated smoothly. First, let's set up the base delay time, which will be synced to the tempo in our live set. Create a live.menu object. In its inspector, change the range to 1N, 2N, 4N, 8N, and 16N, and change the names to delay time. This will allow us to specify the base delay amount. We need to set the delay time of tap out in milliseconds, so we need to translate note values to millisecond values which are in sync with our track. For this we use the translate object. Create a translate object with the arguments note values ms. Hook up the middle outlet of the live.menu object to the translate object. If we connect a message box to the outlet of the translate object, now you can see that a note value of 4N equates to a 500 millisecond delay, with our live set at 120 BPM. Now we'll create the tape wobble effect. Tape wobble will be a small number which we use to vary the base delay time. Create a cycle tilde object. This will be the LFO for creating the wobble. Next, create a live.numbox and connect its left outlet to the left inlet of cycle. Enter the inspector for the live.numbox and change the range to 0.2. and change the unit style to Hertz. Change the name to wobble rate. Create a gate tilde object and connect the output from cycle to the right inlet of gate. Create a live.toggle and join its outlet to the left inlet of gate. This will allow us to turn the wobble on and off. In the inspector for the live.toggle, set its name to something appropriate like wobble on, off. Currently our cycle varies between -1 and 1. Because we are doing an audio version of the millisecond delay time messages we used previously, we need to scale this to a larger value. We're going to create a multiplied tilde object and type in it 20. Don't forget the decimal point. Connect the outlet of gate to the inlet of multiply. This will change the range of our LFO to -20 to 20 milliseconds, a decent amount of wobble that will be audible from the start. Let's add a live.dial. Connect its left outlet to the right inlet of multiply. This will allow us to control the depth or amount of wobble. Enter the inspector for the live.dial and change the range to 0.100 and change the type to integer 0-255. Change the names to depth. If you hook up a number tilde object to the outlet of the multiply object, you will see by changing the depth dial, we can now vary it from -100 to 100 milliseconds up and down. Now we want to add the wobble to our base delay time, so we hook it up to the left inlet of our plus tilde object. Now hook up the outlet of the translate object to the right inlet of the plus tilde object. This will combine the message value of the base delay time with the audio value of the wobble time into an audio signal which we can use to modulate the tap out object. Connect the outlet of plus to the inlet of tap out to control the outgoing delay amount. If we turn on the wobble and set the Hertz amount of cycle to 0.10 Hertz and the depth amount to 20, you will see that our delay amount is wobbling 20 milliseconds above and below 500 milliseconds. This produces a nice audible wobble. Increasing or decreasing the hertz amount will result in extremely different results. Select the toggle Hertz Num box, Depth, and drop-down menu and select Add to Presentation. Enter presentation mode and move them to where you would like to see them in live by default. Resave the patch as a new name. You now have a dub delay with feedback, filter, and tape wobble.